Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Ladder Legends replay analysis. We have one from Chatterzo's Bestie, aka Mose. Says, I've never felt so ridiculously stupid after a loss. Help me out, coach. Now, I know Mose went on a pretty bad loss streak yesterday, so I have a feeling part of this is due to tilt laddering, so we're going to see what we can do. Mose is a level 1 slime, aka Mr. Mose, or Perseus, I think is his other account name. So we got the Reaper wall coming in. Did we see the SCV? No, we didn't. Okay, so the behind the mineral line happens on occasion. So all you got to do is, like, whenever you send the scouting probe out, you send it right here, and then you shift click it to their main base, right? That way you get full vision, and then you could stop anything like this. Like, this is so easy to shut down if we know to scout for it, and the scouting literally takes an additional second and a half, right? So we go across the map. Now, if we scout in his base, there is no barracks. This should be the first place that we check. Oh my god, we almost check it. He's building a bunker and Reapers, okay. So, you know, based on where this came in, that this is most likely behind your mineral line, because if it's a proxy Reaper, the most likely location is down here, but we would be seeing this come up through our pylon, right? So this Reaper got in our base without us being able to see where it came from with our pylon, and we see a bunker, so this should tell us that the barracks is here, or at least on this side of the map. But like I said, we didn't see it come in the ramp, so it's like this is the only location it could be. So losing 2 probes is acceptable here. Any more than 2 probes is not acceptable. Like, we need to be doing some probe micro here. 3 probes is a little too much. He's going for an additional Reaper. He's going to deny mining off of our natural. He's eating a factory behind it. He's got 2 gas. He's still mining off of both gas. So one thing that I think is a mistake from Protoss players as well is that we sent the scouting probe back home. And we're scouting for the proxy racks. We can scout for the proxies with something else other than this. What's very important, in my opinion, is staying in the base and seeing the follow-up. If he takes off gas, then you know he's going to be going for a CC. If he doesn't take off gas, then you know there's going to be something else that's coming up. But what's more important, and this is something that Protoss players stopped doing that they used to do all the time in the past, and what that was is you'd keep the probe within this vicinity. That way they cannot wall off with the factory or another building. And what that does is it allows you to go for an adept as a second unit, or a first unit even, especially with this bunker. It's probably going to be a second unit, right? And then we send the adept across the map. If they can't wall, they can't stop the adept from getting in. We can get a lot of additional damage done that way. That used to be the go-to response for a lot of Protoss players. I'm not sure why they stopped doing it, but it was the most annoying thing to deal with as a proxy-based Terran myself. I would always proxy my first racks in TVP back in the day. All right. Alright, so this part, we got a stalker out. It's the second stalker. But yeah, if we were able to stop him from walling off here, then we could go across the map, like I said. Good micro. We lost two more probes, though. So how many probes is that? 5 total. So overall, he's only behind by like 5 or 6 workers, which isn't a bad thing. He's going for drilling claws. Okay. So this is another important reason why we keep the probe in the main base, right? He hasn't built... Until this tank came out, there wasn't a single unit that could have stopped you from scouting if you kept the probe here. And seeing something like an armory with the research, this tells you that it's going to be drilling claws. The only other thing I think that's it, actually. Maybe Smart Servos requires an armory, but I'm not 100% sure on that, actually. Like, there's only one upgrade that requires an armory. So you should always go Robo as a follow-up to this, I think, because Robo is the safe play. It is just in general the safe play, right? So if you're facing any early game shenanigans like this, I think it's best to go Robo for 2 reasons. One, because if you deflect it well enough, you can just build a prism, go across the map, and potentially kill him. Like, think about it this way. How many stalkers did you build? You built 5. If you had a prism, you could just go into the main base and just do prism, like, drop with a prism. There's nothing he can do to stop you. If he unsieges the tank, you just kill the tank. So I think Robo is always the follow-up here. And then you can do Twilight for Blink later, but Robo first. That way we get Observers for potential follow-ups, but more importantly, we have access to making a Prism. And Immortals are also exceptionally good for holding all-ins as well. Going for a Mind Drop here. You actually saw it, but we didn't see it. Let's see. Let's go back. Look at your vision. Ah, we were dealing with a Liberator. Okay. Yeah, we saw it, but we didn't see it. I'm not gonna fault you too much for that. It was literally on your screen for a split second. So. Okay, you're about to get the scout though. Oh no. Okay, so we didn't actually scout the armory. It's kind of very important. So let's make sure we get a full scout next time. So we go all the way down the mineral line and all the way back up. So we saw it's a 3 racks follow-up. We also saw that his natural is only just now finishing, which means we are massively far ahead in terms of economy.
Enemy assaulting probes.
Oh, he actually could have got that hit off.
Probes under attack.
Wow. Wow, he only got 3 probes with all of this. That's crazy. Okay, your Robo's already on the way, which is good. At least you're going to be able to clean this up eventually. Let's see. Mines are most likely going to be able to get 1 more shot off, though, so we need to be very, very aware of that.
Add-on complete.
Oh, it's SCV ready.
You retargeted? I mean, honestly, Mose, you're doing a great job defending so far. We've lost 14 workers, which is a little more than we'd like to have lost, of course, but the majority of the bad losses were against the initial Reaper. You lost 3 probes against the initial Reaper. Let's try to keep that down to 2 or less. Oh, no. We didn't send our workers back to mining. So remember, remember the shift-click trick. So we take the workers off, and then whenever we're dealing with something, then we go back to mining, we just shift-click them back to the minerals. You have another 40, like, we shouldn't not be mining. We were not mining for almost 30 seconds because this mine was able to fire again, right? Just like, so we're taking a lot of indirect damage when it comes to mining time here.
I'm here in the shadows.
Additional supply depots required. Research complete. Research complete.
Enemy assaulting probes.
We have 18 probes that aren't mining. We have no vision of that base before we blink up into it. Oh no. We blinked up into multiple Marauders, 3 Widow Mines, and a Siege Tank. This is where you lose the game right here. Let's look at this in slow-mo. We actually still kill everything too. Mostly everything. So, let's go back. Before that fight, we have 20 Stalkers. After this fight, we have 7. We lost 13 Stalkers there. Which now gives him freedom to retake map control and or do things like leave with multiple more drops. That was a really bad blink up. We had no vision in that base. Even a hallucination would have given us vision to know that we probably shouldn't go there. You could have gone this way and gone around, but we had no idea. We had no idea what we were blinking into. Even though we had what looked like an observer there, we just were not maintaining. We just didn't have proper knowledge before we blinked 3,000 value worth of Stalkers up a ramp. Like that's a really big mistake. Most we can't be making mistakes like that. I'm just kind of donating units for no reason. We're also not chrono boosting our probes and remaking our probes. So although we've lost, so Protoss can make 9 workers per minute the game has gone on. 9 workers, 10 workers per minute the game has gone on. We have currently 39 probes, and we've lost 39, which is a grand total of 78. But at this point, we are capable of making 93. So what that tells me is that we could have made 25 more probes than we have made this game so far, which would put us at 64 currently, despite all of these losses, right? So we're just not producing probes properly, well under pressure. So it's just one of our fundamentals, man. Fundamentals, we didn't have vision. Vision, supply, production. Those are our fundamentals. We didn't have vision of this when we blinked up, and we're not producing probes as well as we could be, right? So those are the two main reasons why we're losing this game. The blink is the biggest reason, but... Now we're even on workers with the Terran player. He's actually kind of ahead on mining. We've gotten up into Colossus. Now, we just now started this +1. Everything else is just kind of late. Alright, you're able to shut down that drop. That's good. Another thing we need to do is start having Observer here outside of your base. You can even put it in siege mode. That way they know that you know that they know that you know that they're coming. And then an Observer here. Or a Blink Stalker in this vision tower. Something to give you vision of what's happening. We have no map vision at all right now. There's an attack right outside your front door, and we have no idea it's happening.
Probes under attack. Research.
What's our reaction time like? Okay, we make a pylon. The medevacs are about to come in right now. Okay, we see the medevacs. Nice, we warp in, but we need to actually move the units. There we go. Nice, killed a full medevac. That's good. What do we need to get back in this game from here? We need a Prism that's doing Zealot run-bys. We need to be chrono boosting our probes, fully saturating our bases, so like the gas in the main base. Let's look at the natural. We're missing a gas here. We have no gases here. So properly saturate everything. Take a 4th base. Get something like Templar Archives for Storm or a 2nd Robo for more Colossi. Get on a proper amount of production. Okay, we have 8 gates. That's fine. We see he has no 3rd base, so he's going to be going for a massive attack, actually. We can chill on 3 bases if you'd like to. I think sentries are going to be our friend here with the Colossi. Recall.
Mineral field exhausted.
So, the way that these kinds of guys play, he only has... he's only on 4 racks. He's still... Or 5 racks, actually. Excuse me. He's still only on 2 bases. He has no way of furthering himself in the game. So the best thing you can do is have an iron defense. So we're losing this game because we have no vision. You have no idea when these attacks are coming in. You had to recall because you didn't know that was happening, and then there was a drop in your main base right after it, right? So he has full vision of your army right now, yeah.
Pylon under assault. Nexus point must construct additional.
Oh no. Double Artosis pylon. So why are we attacking here? We are up a base against a Terran player. The only way we can lose this is by attacking. And what I mean by that is, all we got to do is iron out our defenses by having vision on the outsides, having stalkers in position in the main base, ready to catch some drops. Taking a 4th base doesn't make sense. We're losing all of our production. Now if this attack fails, we're completely out of the game, right? And I understand that you're just frustrated and annoyed, but the only way this guy can do something, he's not furthering his game position at all. So
Nexus point under enemy attack.
Observer here. Hold on. Observer here. Observer here. Blink Stalkers on patrol in the main base here. The rest of your army in between your bases right about here. That way you can respond to anything more quickly. And then we just go from there. He's pulling you apart because Protoss does tend to struggle to split their army, which is true and is the case. But going for an all-out attack like this while we're also receiving damage back at home against a guy who's down what's going to be 2 bases is not very recommended. I know this game had to have been frustrating. I hope that some of these tips have helped out. The biggest thing we're lacking is vision. Something I know we can easily fix, Moz. Hopefully you enjoyed, man. And hopefully we see you beating Terran players like this, because you definitely should be in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.